From the O'Connell Center on the campus of the University of Florida in Gainesville, Sun Sports presents Florida Gator Gymnastics. Tonight, it's the Gators hosting the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And a very pleasant good evening to you. I'm Larry Vitale, and welcome to the O'Connell Center in Gainesville for what promises to be a very good dual meet in gymnastics. Two nationally ranked teams. The Florida Gators, number 10 in the nation, but they made it to the Super 6 last year. Nebraska missed the Super 6 for the first time in 5 seasons in 2004. They want to get back, and they come into this matchup ranked number 19 in the nation. Florida under the direction of Rhonda Fain. It's her 3rd year as the Gator head coach, and earlier we asked her what she's looking for out of her team tonight.
We're really looking to go out there and go out and hit all of our routines, be very consistent with the difficulty that we've been doing, and, you know, obviously to go out and just be aggressive and have a fun time while we're doing it.
And it's a pleasure to once again be working alongside Melissa Miller-Schubeck, a former All-American gymnast for the University of Florida. Melissa, we've got 2 great programs tonight, but 2 teams also looking for their first win of the year.
Well, Florida has started the season placing 2nd at the Super 6 Challenge, only 4 tenths behind Georgia, but counting 3 falls. They also placed 2nd against LSU, counting 3 falls, and they are really looking to polish up those routines tonight.
Now for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, they've played an incredibly difficult early season schedule.
They have, and they have gone against the best teams in the country already. They were defeated by then number 7, Michigan, and also the defending NCAA champion, UCLA.
Individual all-arounders set the tone for a college gymnastics team because they compete on each of the 4 rotations. Let's take a look at the all-arounders we'll see tonight.
For Nebraska, they have freshman Emily Parsons, sophomore Christy Esposito, and the defending NCAA champion from 2003, Rochelle Simpson.
Rochelle Simpson missed last year with a knee injury. In fact, tonight will be her first all-around since that injury. She's a tremendous performer. Now for the Florida Gators, they're led by a sophomore all-arounder competing at a very high level.
Well, All-American Breanne King is their solid performer in the all-around. She's already won an all-around against LSU and placed 2nd in the all-around at the Super 6 Challenge. We'll also see Katie Root tonight going in for the all-around for her 2nd time as a Gator, and also freshman Ashley Reed.
So that's the way it shapes up. Should be great gymnastics action between Florida and Nebraska. We'll take a break from the O'Connell Center. When we come back, the first rotation, the Gators will vault Nebraska on the bars after this timeout on Sun Sports. Just about set for our first rotation here at the O'Connell Center. Florida head coach Rhonda Fain spent 4 years as an assistant at the University of Nebraska. Now she matches up against her former school.
It's exciting. It's always nice to be able to see former colleagues and athletes that I used to coach as well, and it's great. They're a talented team, and so, you know, but our focus is obviously just on us, and we want to go out there and hit our routines.
And the first opportunity Florida will get to hit will come on vault. Our first rotation will have the Gators vaulting and the Nebraska Cornhuskers on the uneven bars, and we start off with Florida sophomore All-American Breanne King, the first Gator to vault.
And she's a great person to put up first in the lineup because she is very solid for Florida. Yurchenko with a full twist, a little hop at the end. Good solid start for Florida. You see the replay. Again, couple of steps at the end. They're really going to have to work on those landings.
And that'll cost a little bit, but not too much, as Breanne King starts off the vault for the Gators with a 9.75, just shy of her score at the Super 6. Next up for Florida, Orly Smooch, a senior.
And she's very powerful on this event. Yurchenko half, front layout, a lot of power. Got to learn to control that power. Nice height off the horse. They're looking for height and distance and a little bit of hop at the end.
Orly still coming back from off-season ankle surgery, not 100%, not an all-arounder tonight for Florida, but she does post a 9.775 with her vault. Now over to the uneven bars. Here's Rochelle Simpson. She's won 27 individual titles in her 2003 season alone, but only 2 of them coming on bars.
And she is just an excellent performer for Nebraska. They look for her for strength. See, giant full pirouette. Another giant full pirouette. An upright handstand. Moving down to the low bar. Nice cast handstand. She has very nice form. There's her release move, a slight leg separation on that release move. All she has left now is her dismount. You see her giants into a double layout and a great landing.
Well, they love to end it by sticking the landing.
Taking a look again at this dismount, a little bit piked in the hips on that. If she could stretch that out, that would help that dismount.
Michelle Simpson, who missed all of last year, back as a fifth-year senior and starts off tonight with a 9.875 on the uneven bars. Back over to vault. Here's Katie Root.
She placed first on the vault versus LSU. Let's see what she can do. Nice Yurchenko full, great landing. She didn't get as much height off the horse as she needed, but of course that allowed her then to stick that landing.
Katie Rue, a sophomore. She's been in the vault rotation for the Gators every meet of her young Gator career, and she posts a score of 9.775. And here's a Florida freshman from Davie, Florida, down in the Lauderdale area, Ashley Reed.
Her and Tiffany Murray were actually teammates in Orlando. She's very powerful on this event. Another Yurchenko with a full twist. Big hop at the end. Great power.
The Gators have had hops on all 4 landings on the vault.
Exactly. She just needs to get a little more block, go straight up on that, and that will help her stick that landing.
Ashley Reed with a 9.725. Solid scores for the Gators, but not great ones in this first rotation. Now back over to the bars. Here's Christy Esposito, a sophomore from Slidell, Louisiana. If you've ever driven to Nolens, you've gone by Slidell.
She's the defending Big 12 bar champion, so she's a solid performer for Nebraska. Nice Stalder handstand with a grip change. Forward Stalder handstand. She has great form. You can see her toe points, nice straight legs. Moving down to the low bar, you're looking for variations in the low bar and high bar, grip changes. These are all requirements for this event. You see nice stretch body on these giants, double layout, little hop at the end.
Esposito, a flawless routine until that little jump at the end.
Look, she has just real clean form, nice stretch body on the double layout.
And the little hop at the end does not do all that much damage as Esposito posts a 9.90. And that'll send us back over to vault. And here's a Florida freshman, Tiffany Murray.
She considers vault to be her best event. She got second at LSU. Nice Yurchenko full and a great landing. See great power on this. Nice lift off the horse and knew exactly where she was.
The first Gator to stick the landing on the vault, and the judges appreciate it with a 9.875, Florida's best score in this opening rotation. And last up for the Gators, another Floridian from Destin, Florida, sophomore Savannah Evans.
Finishing with a strong performer. She has scored a 10-0 on this event. Nice Yurchenko half, front layout, big step at the end. Taking a look, a little early on the twist. Again, just has to block off that horse a little bit better. That gives them more height and allows them to stick that landing.
Savannah Evans for the Florida Gators with a 9.825, the Gators' second best score in this opening rotation. The Gators head to the bars next on Sun Sports. Nice crowd here at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. 2 weeks ago, over 8,000 for the Super Six, about half that for this matchup between Florida and Nebraska. The Gators trail by 3/10 after our opening rotation. So now the Gators head to bars with Orly Smooch leading off.
And there's a reason they're starting with the senior. They've had lots of difficulty on the bars already this year, having to count 2 falls at the Super Six. Nice release move between the bars. Excellent job. Giant half pirouette. Pack salto. Usually you like to start with someone that you know can go out and hit that routine, and it gets the rest of the girls following suit. Nice tuck double back, great form. See her full pirouette, right into that nice, clean, tight tuck double back.
And a great start to Florida on the bars as Orly Smooch posts a 9.875. And here's Cherie Owens. Cherie out of Graceville, Florida, due to knee problems. This is her only event, and that she's become a specialist on the bars for the Gators.
And she's had a slow recovery from the off-season knee surgery. Nice reverse heck. Strata back to the low bar. She's 5'7". It makes it extremely hard to swing the uneven bars. Uprise handstand. Giant full pirouette. All she has is her dismount. Nice power. Full twist and double back, and a great landing. Very difficult dismount. She does a full twist and then an extra flip.
So Cherie Owens for the Gators matches Smooch with a 9.875, a season high for the Gator Junior. And Florida's off with 2 outstanding routines. Now over to vault. Desiree Snitinsky for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, a freshman from Wisconsin.
She's doing your Chinko with a full twist and just set down. Now you only have to count 5 of the 6 routines for each team, so this isn't going to kill Nebraska. But it looks to me like she just had her bottom sticking out too far. She needs to bend her knees a little more and stand straight up.
Snitinsky got off to a good start with a 9.850 on bars, but follows up with a fall on the vault, 9.225. The Cornhuskers cannot afford another fall. Over to bars for Florida, here's Katie Root.
And she's only competed on bars 1 other time. So she's been improving gradually, and they felt like they needed to stick her in the lineup. Giant full pirouette. Giant full pirouette. Done very well. Nice clean form and a double layout. 1 little step at the end. She has lots of power. She swings. Nice lift off the bars. Just a slight deduction.
And Katie Rue with a 9.850 for Florida, following up her 9.775 on the vault. So a good start for her this evening. And now Samantha Lutz, sophomore from the state of Ohio.
This is one of her best events. She won the bars at the Super 6 Challenge, and she's the 2001 and 2003 bars champ for the Junior Olympics. Nice uprise handstand. Nice release move. You see the coach stepping in. They're not allowed to touch them. They can stand there and catch them if they happen to come off. Moving down to the low bar. She has great body positions, nice stretched body, getting ready for her dismount. Nice high double layout and a great landing.
She liked it, the crowd liked it.
Again, great body positions for this Florida team on the uneven bars.
Samantha Lutz gets congratulations from her teammates, and with good reason. She matches her career best with a 9.90 on the bars for the Florida Gators, who've posted 4 very good scores already. Here's Stephanie Carter, Nebraska sophomore, and the pressure's on because they already have 1 fall on vault.
Her career high is a 9.925. She's doing Yurchenko with a full twist. Perfect landing. Great power, great lift off the horse, nice stretched body. She nailed it.
So Stephanie Carter, a vault with a 10-0 value, and she gets the 9.9, a big score for Nebraska. And we go back over to bars for Florida. Here's Ashley Reed.
Rhonda said a couple of the freshmen, Ashley and Tiffany, haven't been performing as well under the pressure on the uneven bar, so she's giving them a few more routines to get used to this. You see her nice release move, the reverse hecht. Underswing to the low bar. It's always easier competing in front of this O'Connell Center crowd. Double layout, slight hop at the end, but a great routine.
And Ashley Reed keeps the good scores coming for the Gators with a 9.850. That means Florida's lowest score that will count in this rotation will be a 9.85, which will be very good for the team scoring. Now Rochelle Simpson.
Nice Yurchenko full, great height, great distance, and her feet were planted. She is so strong for this Nebraska team. You just see more height than anyone else did off of the horse and great distance. And she didn't even budge her feet even though they were slightly apart. No deduction on that landing.
The 2003 Big 12 champion lives up to her reputation with a 9.975. There's only one notch higher than that, and we'll see if she can get it sometime later tonight. Florida's last bars worker will be Breanne King.
She's been a great all-arounder for Florida. Very solid, very dependable. Healy into her release move. Very nicely done. Cast handstand, underswing to the low bar. Looks like she might have a slight change in her routine. Didn't quite execute the handstand to the full extension there in a tuck double back. Normally she does a full twisting double back. So a little bit of difficulty in her routine. She tried to cover it. Usually the judges in the crowd maybe can't tell of the cover, but she didn't get the handstand all the way to the top.
And something you rarely see, 2 loops on the lower bar, and the judges penalize her accordingly with a 9.450. Fortunately for Florida, that's a score that will not have to count. We're midway through the meet. More coming up on Sun Sports. And we welcome you back to Sun Sports coverage of college gymnastics. 10th-ranked Florida going up against Nebraska, and it's the Cornhuskers with a 2/10 lead after the first 2 rotations. Florida will now be on balance beam, and Nebraska will be on the floor exercise, and the Gators led off by senior All-American Orly Smooch.
She's usually an all-arounder for Florida, but they're resting her up for the Alabama meet. Nice handstand, layout, step out, back handspring, step out. Florida knows they're going to have to hit at least 5 routines on this event to pull ahead of Nebraska.
Doesn't it seem in every close dual meet you can look at beam and a fall on beam as the difference between 2 good teams?
It does. It usually comes down to the balance beam, and it's hard to compete sometimes on the road in front of a big crowd like is here tonight.
Orly reached the finals at NCAA's on beam last year.
See her concentrating, getting ready for her dismount. Nice round off, tuck double back. Set a little low on that landing. That's probably about a 2/10 deduction for the landing. Nice lift. It looks like maybe her legs just gave out a little bit on her.
But she held it together long enough and gets a 9.825, so obviously not a 2/10 deduction for Orly. Maybe a sign our balance beam judges are in a good mood tonight. Ashley Reed in her 3rd event of the night.
Starting with her switch leap into her gainer layout, step out. They are required to have special things in their routine like an acrobatic series, gymnastics series, a full turn, and a leap. This helps their start routine come from a 10-0. Nice acrobatic series.
Reed has competed in all-around in each meet so far this season for the Gators.
Cat leap into a switch side. Sometimes the jumps and leaps look like the easier skills, but they're the easiest ones to fall off on when you are nervous. Looking at her dismount, round off, double full, 1 step at the end. Nice high lift. Tight body on the twist. They just got to work on sticking those landings.
Well, it'll be easy for Rhonda Fain to talk to her team about where there's some more points to be gained because they've stepped on a lot of landings today. Hasn't hurt the scores too much. Ashley Reed with a 9.825, so Florida with 2 straight 9.825s on the beam as they get off to a good start in this rotation. Now to the floor, and here's Emily Parsons, who won this event against UCLA. Tough to win any event when you're competing against the national champs.
Exactly, and she scored that with a 9.90, and that's early in the season. So I bet she's going to be really challenging for the national championship on this event. She has lots of power. Round back handspring, double layout, extremely difficult. You may be wondering why the mat's on the floor. They are allowed to tumble onto the mat with no deduction. with some of the more difficult skills that are being performed nowadays, it's more of a safety issue, and they're allowing that, whereas before they didn't always allow that.
You just find certain routines the way you're going through it. Do you need that extra padding?
Exactly. Well, that's a hard skill on the landing, especially if you land low on a double layout. Front full, punch front, mounter into a double stag. One thing you're seeing more of this year, instead of just the front tumbling, you're seeing the jumps out of it as well, just trying to get that added difficulty in there. And she's really playing up to this Florida crowd.
Yeah, she extends the arms a little bit. We could call that a chomp.
I don't know if we'd go that far. One thing about this Gator crowd, they always appreciate great gymnastics, and it is fun for even the competitors from the other teams to compete at Florida. All she has is her last pass. Front double twist, extremely difficult to end her routine with.
Emily Parsons, a freshman from St. Charles, Missouri.
Taking a look at that front full, front tuck, mounter, and a double stag jump. Done very well.
And the judges agree, 9-9-0 for Emily Parsons as she matches the score she posted against UCLA. And now here's Florida's Katie Rue.
This is a great event for her. She's a second-team All-American on the balance beam. You'll see a variety of the girls moving down onto the beam and up on the beam. There's all kinds of different ways to fulfill their requirements. Back handspring, layout, step out. Looking very confident. Nice jump combination. She's been in the vault, beam, and floor exercise in every meet in 2004, so this is an event that she is accustomed to doing. Nice side summy. Very difficult. There's that required full turn.
And you know she can rise to the occasion because she posted a 9.925 at UCLA last year, so when you can do that, you can perform.
Nice unique dismount coming off the end. It's called a gainer layout step out, or layout with your feet together, actually.
So Katie Rue having a good night for the Florida Gators with a 9.90 on the balance beam. And here's Brianne King, and Brianne has been Miss Automatic in this event through her first year at Plus here at Florida.
Again, we've talked about how consistent she is. She hit 53 of 54 routines last year. You see her front aerial, side summy. Very difficult start. Florida looking very confident on the balance beam. Switch leap, straddle leap, straddle leap.
And since she so rarely misses, this is important for her to bounce back from a bars routine that was way below par to come out here and do a great job on the beam, and so far so good.
Yes, sometimes it is difficult throughout the night to maintain that composure after making a mistake and just getting back in there, but she knows how important this beam score is for Florida. Not really seeing any small bobbles for Florida on the beam right now. Her dismount, round off, double twist, stuck landing.
So Brianne King bounces back nicely with her beam routine.
Nice, difficult double twist. Great form.
You hear the crowd chanting a little bit, 10, 10, 10. Well, they'll have to settle for 9.950 for Brianne King, who won the beam in the Super 6, won it against LSU, and has a score that's going to be very tough to beat. Here's Rochelle Simpson. Actually started her college career at Penn State.
She is the national champion on this event from 2003. So you know that this is a strong event for her. Run up back handspring, nice high double layout. Now she's not that tall, and that was extremely high for a double layout. Nice front full, front pike into that double stag. Really playing up to the crowd. It's always fun to see the kids' personalities come through in their routines. And you can
can tell that they're really enjoying them.
Particularly for an out-of-town competitor, because they've got to kind of win over the crowd, where it's a natural for the Gators performing in front of the home fans.
Coach Dan Kindig has nothing but great things to say about her. She's a great role model. She has a great attitude. And it's such a young Nebraska team that they need this. Most of the time, the gymnasts are allowed to pick their own music. And of course, the choreographers try to fit that routine to their personalities. Nice Rudy into a handspring, layout, step out. Great finish for Rochelle.
There you see the form of a national champion on floor.
And she's come back so strong from that injury. Look at that nice high double layout and nails it.
Simpson with a 9.90 matching Emily Parsons. Now we go over to beam for Florida. This is Erin Dooley.
Great punch front. Extremely difficult. You see most of the gymnasts coming on the beam with a simple mount, not Erin.
Talk about counting routines, 33 straight Erin Dooley has hit on the beam.
She is an All-American on this event. Handspring. Supposed to be a back layout, and apparently just didn't feel like she could get it on the beam. Remember that each team can put 6 gymnasts up for competing, and they take the top 5 scores, so this may not hurt Florida. Nice jump combination, moving down to the beam. She's been recovering from a stress fracture, so she's only done an exhibition on bars tonight in just this event as far as competing. Nice gainer full off the side and a great finish. Not looking real thrilled with this. You see, just totally off on the beam. Wasn't even attempting to come back down. Apparently the handspring was just too far to the right, and she just didn't feel like it was even safe to try to get it on the beam.
Erin Dooley falls for the first time since her freshman year of 2002 and settles for a 9.10, and that puts it all on Samantha Lutz to make sure that that fall does not count. Lutz needs to have a good routine here for the Gators.
And she's the one to put up. She's the first team All-American on this event, placing 11th at the NCAA championships last year. She always works well under pressure. Last year they put her in at SECs and she responded with a 9.9. She responds there with a nice punch front, slight bobble on her jump. Nice jump combination. One thing that's impressive about this sophomore class is that they're all All-Americans.
Florida returned 7 All-Americans this year, more than any other school in the country. Nebraska, one of those that's next in the group, with 4 All-Americans returning for 2005.
You see lots of concentration. She gets ready for her switch leap into her wolf jump. You hear a little bit of music in the background. In the dual meets and some of the other smaller meets, they're allowed to have some background music so it's not so quiet. Back handspring layout, step out, full twist dismount. Take a look at this dismount. Very difficult to do the layout step out right into the dismount, a slight step at the end.
Well, Lutz makes sure the fall does not count because she posts a 9.875 for the Florida Gators. So the Gators nothing but great scores on beam as far as the official tally is concerned. 1 rotation to go in Gainesville. We are back at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville on Sun Sports, ready for the final rotation as the Gators head to floor exercise. Florida now with a lead after a very strong beam performance of 49.375, and freshman Ashley Reed leads off the Gators on floor.
She has music from James Dean and James Bond mixed together. Got a back handspring, pike double back, nice height. Obviously, they have a lot of confidence in Ashley starting her on the floor exercise in such a pressure situation. So moving quickly into the second pass. Front layout, front full.
Ashley struggled with her floor routine in the Super 6, so you know she wants to give the home crowd a better routine tonight.
She had scored a 9.275, and I know that she wants to improve on that. So far, so good.
Tells you something about Rhonda Fain's confidence in her, that even though she struggled on the floor at home, she's going right back to her to lead off in a very close dual meet.
Well, floor is the event that Florida has put in more difficulty this year. So they're testing the waters and they're throwing some stuff out there and see how they perform early in the year in hopes of peaking at just the right time for a national championship. Last pass, front layout, front pike. There's that gator chomp. That's a great start for Florida. Taking a look at her tumbling pass. There's that front tumbling, front layout, front full.
Ashley Reed gets Florida off to a solid start with a 9.775 on floor. And finishes up a good evening of all around for Reed. And Katie Rue will now try to do the same as she competes all around and gets set for her floor exercise.
She has performed a full end and double layouts in this first pass. We'll see what she puts in tonight. Round up back handspring, pike double back. A little bit easier than maybe what she's used to. Stepping into her second pass, whip, half twist, front layout. Kind of unique, you haven't really seen that pass. You've seen a lot of the front tumbling because it is a requirement to have two different directions on their tumbling. And one pass has to include two flips.
We talked about the little step on some of the other dismounts, but in floor, they almost always have a step and a pose after a tumbling run. How is that scored differently?
Well, they're stepping into a lunge, which is normal for a tumbling pass, but they can't step out of turns and jumps or even out of bounds to get a deduction. That's treated a little bit differently than the other events. Not even looking tired for this last pass. Nice solid finish. Great routine for Katie.
Katie Rue on the floor against LSU at a 9.80.
There's that whip half, front layout. I like to see the variety in the choreography.
And a little bit of an improvement as she goes to 9.825 here against Nebraska. Now over to the beam, Emily Parsons, who had Achilles surgery this summer and fell on the beam against UCLA last week.
She's the 2004 Missouri State Champion. So you're concentrating for this series, handspring, layout, right on. And Nebraska's not been very successful in beam. They had to count 3 falls against UCLA, and they actually had 4 falls. So this has not been their best event this year.
And they need to not count any falls because they trail Florida by 2/10 going into the final rotation.
It's been hard for Nebraska. They've competed on the road all year, and so this has been a big challenge for them. Punch front, a little bit of a bobble. That'll be between 2 and 3/10 deduction. If she falls to the ground, it's a 5/10 deduction. Dependent upon the bobble, it's the judge's discretion. She's been very solid on everything else. Full turn. Fulfilling her dance requirements. All she has left is her dismount. A 1.5 twist dismount, a slight step at the end. There's that punch front. She's just a little bit off, but she fights to save it. She knows how important every 10th is at this point in the competition.
So Parsons, despite that major bobble up on the beams, gets a 9.70.
I really feel that's a little too high for that event.
And Nebraska needs to hope that doesn't count if they want to catch the Gators. Now Samantha Lutz, who's already had 2 very good routines with a 9.9 on bar and a 9.875 on beam.
She's always a real crowd pleaser for this Florida team. Starting off with the music box dancer. Very graceful. Nice high tuck double back. A little bit of change in music to AC/DC. Big contrast.
Yeah, from music box dancer to AC/DC, I'd say that's a contrast.
Well, it kind of kicked in right in the tumbling where all the power was coming in. It just fits perfectly.
I was a DJ. I know you get fired if you do that on the air. But on the floor, a whole different story.
Second tumbling, front full. Nice tuck front. She has scored a high of a 9.925 on this event, so it's a very strong event for Samantha. Well-suited routine for her. It's always nice to see them get into their routines. You can tell they're enjoying what they're doing. And every gymnast has a Gator chomp in their floor routine. Last pass, a double twist. Not the most difficulty in the tumbling, but performs her routine very well. Taking a look at her round up at handspring, tuck double back. Again, this isn't the difficulty that we know that she has, but she's hit everything, and her routine is starting from a 10-0. She nails that last tumbling pass.
And Samantha Lutz with a 9.90 for Florida, matching the high scores on the floor so far tonight. We're midway through the rotation. More coming up. Part of the crowd of 3,748 here at the O'Connell Center. The Gators averaged 3,200 last year, 8th in the nation. Off to a better start this year. Back to the beam we go, and here's Desiree Snitinsky.
And she's off to a great start with a punch front mount. The pressure is on her, though. They're going to have to count every routine from here on out. Back handspring, layout, step out. Looking a little nervous, a few deductions here and there. Nice jump combination. Handstand straddle down. She has level 10 and national experience, but sometimes it's just not the same as collegiate experience. Wolf jump, wolf full, and a fall. That's going to count on 5/10.
She fell at UCLA, and she fell on the vault earlier, struggling a little in her freshman year.
And again, we talked about some of the flipping skills, are a lot more difficult, it seems, but it's the dance skills like that that can get you every time. Gainer full off the end, nice dismount. Here's that jump sequence. It's a wolf with a full and just doesn't get her feet all the way around.
So a fall for Nebraska, and their chances of catching the Gators drop dramatically with a 9.05 for Snitinsky. Now we go back over to the floor exercise. Here's Breanne King. She's in all around for the Gators for the 12th consecutive meet.
She has a mix of Santana for her music, which is very appropriate. It's very graceful. First pass, round off, whip into a 2.5 twist. That's a difficult pass. Very unique. You haven't really seen a lot of that. Round off, whip into a double twist. Whip backs obviously being one of her strengths.
Breanne from Canada, continuing a long line of Canadians that have made their way to the University of Florida for gymnastics. Started with, I guess, Elfie Schlegel.
She was 5th in the 2000 Canadian Olympic trials, and she started gymnastics at the age of 4. This is a great event for her. She's second-team All-American. All she has to do is finish with a strong last pass. Handspring, front full, front pike. Beautiful. That's a great exercise for Brienne. Taking a look at this solid tumbling. Front full, nice front pike. And right on.
Brianne King with a 9.850 as she wraps up her all-around for the evening. Struggled on bars, so she won't be a candidate for individual honors, but a good finish to the night for the Gator sophomore. And now here's a Florida freshman, Tiffany Murray.
Floor involved are two of her best events. She's got lots of power, and she knows how to use it in her tumbling. She's starting off with a nice high, full twisting, double back. She nails it. Her music is Santa Esmeralda. Resting right before the second pass. Front full, front tuck. She looks very relaxed on the floor exercise. One thing that will help her on down the road is a little more on her dance, working a little more on her dance and getting more comfortable with that, and maybe incorporating more choreography. The music's quite fast. She's not quite moving to the beats like she needs to. Her tumbling obviously right up there with national champions, but just needs to work on the area of the choreography. Full turn. Pike double back, perfect. Again, waiting for that music there. It's got to keep flowing in the dance area. Great job on the tumbling.
She got a little help from the crowd covering those few seconds. Big response to that last tumbling run.
Look at this nice high pike double back, and that's her last pass. That's incredible.
And the crowd's response was right on target with the judges, 9.875. So the Gators have hit their first 5 floor routines. Now we go over to the beam for the last time to check on Jamie Sauce. She's a senior out of Illinois for the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
And she fell on this event at Michigan. Although having that fall, this is one of her best events. She's a second-team All-American on the balance beam. Switch leap to nice layout, step out. Punch front. I know this Nebraska team's eager to get to some home competitions. You know, they've been on the road, and, you know, you're used to your beams, you're used to your crowd, and this has been a big test for Nebraska having all their trips on the road.
Especially when you go to Michigan, and they're the best in the Big Ten. You go to UCLA, the defending champ. You go to Florida, a Super 6 team from a year ago. So they've faced in many ways the best teams they will see until postseason.
Exactly, and they and Florida have extremely tough schedules, but this is going to help prepare them on down the road for the conference championships and the national championships. Back handspring layout, step out right into a full twist. Great finish. Again, you're seeing some of the acrobatic skills incorporated with the dismounts, and it just makes that difficulty that much more.
Well, Jamie Sauce, who has a career best 9.975 on beam, gets a 9.90 tonight to help Nebraska. And now our final routine of the night, Savannah Evans.
And the crowd just loves Savannah. She has Cotton Eye Joe for music, and it just allows the crowd to clap and get into it and really give her the energy she needs for this routine.
Coming off a great floor routine at LSU last week.
Nice double twist forward, extremely difficult. Her high score is a 9.95, and I think she can get a 10 on this by the end of the year. 1.5 twist, front layout, and a fall. Looks like she floated that layout a little bit too long. But see, she gets right up smiling. That's what I like to see. She just continues the flow of the routine. Nice positive attitude. I know that's what those Florida coaches really like about her. She's always bubbly and has a great personality.
How hard is that?
It's extremely hard on the road, more so than probably at home, but she loves this event. This is one of her best events, and so she knows that that's really not going to hurt them that much too right now, so it probably is a little bit easier, but no matter, I think she would keep on smiling knowing her personality. Not only is she a great athlete, but she's a scholastic All-American as well. All she has to do is nail this last pass. Front full, front layout. Way to get your composure back. That was excellent. Taking a look at that front full, front layout, her last pass, and a strong finish.
Savannah Evans with a 9.350 with the 0.5 deduction, so the judges liked everything else. We'll be back to check out the final scores. Stay with us. And the 10th-ranked Florida Gators get their first win of the year, defeating number 19 Nebraska by less than 0.3 of a point. A very competitive meet here at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. Checking out individuals, Rochelle Simpson had a great night. She wins the vault with a 9.975, the highest score of the night in any event. Florida's Samantha Lutz ties a pair of Cornhuskers on the uneven bars with a score of 9.90 for the Florida Gators. Over on balance beam, a career best 9.95 for Brianne King. Katie Rue ties for second on the beam. And in floor exercise, a three-way tie for first, Parson and Simpson of Nebraska, tied up with Florida Gator Samantha Lutz on floor exercise. The individual all-around goes to the NCAA champ from 2003, Rochelle Simpson. And how about Florida's Katie Rue, her second all-around competition in her college career, second place today against Nebraska, helping the Gators to the victory over the Cornhuskers, 196.950, a season-high score for the Orange and Blue. That'll do it from here at the O'Connell Center in Gainesville. We certainly hope you enjoyed our coverage of college gymnastics as the Florida Gators defeated the Nebraska Cornhuskers. For our producer-director Jerry Wetzel and our entire Sun Sports crew, along with Melissa Miller-Schubeck, I'm Larry Vitale. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on Sun Sports.